Ugh, such a good step, touch, rhythm, right? Hi, everyone. It's me again. Hi there, I'm Jackie, and welcome and good evening. Welcome to episode 35, of Out of an Abundance of Caution, an avant-garde microfestival live and online of quick and dirty, fascinating work responding to and from the places and people with whom we select, and sometimes don't, to shelter with on a wildly inclusive and non-hierarchical platform. Yeah! Tonight, yes, produced by the Brick Theater. Thank you so much for having us, for being our beacon of light at the end of the week to help us transition gracefully to Mondays. Well, I'm here in someone else's house. Maybe some of you know that I live in a van, but on occasion I cat sit or dog sit or house sit, and then I get to be in someone else's house for a little while, which is very it's just wild. It's a kind of wild experience where you get to try on other people's clothing while they're gone. Maybe, sometimes, if they fit. Anyway, I am honored to be hosting tonight with this incredible lineup of performers and provocateurs this evening, who we encourage you to tip generously. As I mentioned, Out of Abundance of Caution in the Brick Theater are here every week at the end of our weekend to help us kind of like get ready for the week ahead. And that is no small task on account of these performers and artists sharing their work with you today, sharing shared experiences, shared political experiences this evening, and some tips on how we can get involved. Sharing process. This is what we're all here to learn from each other, right? In this very strange time we're living in. Great. So I've got my beverage. I don't know if you can see what my mug says here. Again, not my mug, someone else's mug. But I'm here. Hopefully we won't make it too awkward tonight. All right, well, we have a lot to get through today. We have some incredible performers. So we're just gonna jump right in. Y'all, when is the last time we heard some live music? I mean, on this show and in general. I know I'm itching for it. So I'm so honored to introduce today Ms. Maya Sharpe. And Maya Sharpe is a multi-passionate, love that, multi-passionate maker and thinker. And Maya's passion lies in exploring simplicity in humanity through composition. And using this tool to demonstrate that there is more of a connection and love between everything than the politically derived disconnect and hatred between us. I believe it. Thank you, Maya, for your work. And let's hear some of them tunes.
Great to be here with you all. These two songs are a reminder to start slowing it down. Running away from my own tears, sailing across my own ocean of fears. to swim across. Set their sails, I am at a loss. Soaring above the highest cloud, fighting the wind to never be found. Down me no, cast away. How others set their sails, I am at a loss. Building a boat takes time to measure. Building a boat. No time for pleasurable day. Building a boat. Say it again. Building a boat. Takes time to measure. Thanks for letting me share that with you all. That was called Building a Boat. And it's really dry in where I am, so. This next song is making its world premiere. I wrote it in the beginning scary throes of this pandemic, where nobody knew anything. Still don't. More than we used to. They say you're alone out here. No one to carry you through that dark. They say to come home, my dear. No clean air left now, get out of your place. Then the phone ring, what you gonna do? How you gonna? What you gonna do? How you gonna? to go, I fear. Take our car and follow the light. They say we need you near. Take a deep breath now and cover your face. When I'm dust, then I'm dust. When I'm dust, I'll catch fire all the same. Cover me completely. Cover me completely. Cover me completely in shoes, milk, roses, and doves. Thank you all. Peace.
Wow, y'all. That was so good. Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing those with me and us. Oh my God. I'm sitting here thinking I'm the only one. Right? Not true. Everybody's here. Look at all these claps. Yay, yay, yay. You got the emojis in here. Maya, you've got some fans, girl. And don't forget to tip our friend Maya. Incredible work. Making art is very hard right now. And the fact that she could come in here and scat up a storm and lift our spirits like that. And whew, thank you. Thank you so much. This is not mine. Also not mine. This is a cat pillow. Someone else's cat pillow. There's another one. There's another cat pillow here too. This one seems to be like embroidered, hand embroidered. Very nice cat memorabilia. Because there's a cat here. Cat lives here. So you must have cat pillow. Wow. Maya Sharpe. Maya, actually, I know a bot you should talk to because you about to be famous. All right, moving right along. Yes, that's me at Climate Queer. You can follow me there. You can also follow me, Lauren, if you want to put this up at the Dolph Van, DOLPHVAN. That is my van that I usually live in. Again, to reiterate, I am in someone else's house tonight. But at the Dolph Van, if you want to check out what that's all about. Another great feature that I love in this house are, are these, there's no switch plates on any of these switches on the wall, which is very dangerous. But I did see the fire extinguisher, so I think we're gonna be okay. All right, speaking of fires being set down in Georgia in January, next up, we've got Ben Dworkin, Justin Yorio, and Lauren Miller on the line, ready to throw down some info about the Georgia Senate races. You know, we've gotten through the big one, and there's some people out there who still think we haven't gotten through it, but they'd be wrong. Now we've got, as you all know, the Georgia Senate race is coming up in January. So theater makers Ben, Justin, and Lauren are here to offer a little more encouragement and to help us stay engaged through the Georgia Senate races on January 5th, the 5th of January. Make sure all of your people in Georgia know that. And let's cut to Lauren, Ben, and Justin on how we can also get involved.
Thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. This is really amazing. I guess I will start. But before we get to the details, I would like to take a moment to recognize a friend of mine who was my teacher who passed away 10 years ago due to cancer. And it's the 10-year anniversary of her passing. And I really want to acknowledge her today as I'm talking about encouragement, because she always encouraged me to be the best man I could be. And Joan, I'm really hope you're watching this right now, because I'm really going to talk my heart out right now. So anyway, well, we got Joe Biden in the White House, and we have a vaccine that is more than 90% effective from Pfizer that will help defeat the coronavirus. But that's not all. That's not all. We have at least one more battle left to win, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about the Georgia Senate race on January 5th. This is a really important race to be won. Why? Because it will be the most important step to building the future that we all deserve. And I'm telling you that right now. I am encouraging you all to put your best foot forward and to volunteer and to put time in to helping Georgia to elect the two Democrats that are in the Senate races. That is Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. It is the most amazing thing that we all are doing right now. And believe me, if we can win these two battles, we can win this one. And I believe we are on the path to winning this battle, to securing the future that we all deserve. To build a better future for artists, to build a better future for all people. This race is the most important race we have to win. And I am telling you, we are on that path. From what I hear from how Stacey Abrams is developing a campaign to help us do it, it is really an amazing thing to see. So, I would like to turn to Justin Yorio to go into more detail about the race. So, Justin?
Hi, thanks, Ben. Thanks, Out of Caution. It's nice to be here. I am an artist who has spent a fair amount of time over the last couple months trying to learn more about how these Senate races run. I want to remind you a little bit on why, broadly speaking, these runoffs are so important. With Biden as our president-elect and the Democrats holding a slim majority in the House, the Republicans currently hold a 50 to 48 seat majority in the Senate. Should the Democrats lose either of these elections, by the rules of the Senate, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans would control both which bills get put up for a vote in the next session and which, if any, of Joe Biden's judicial nominees would get a hearing. And we've seen with the stonewalling of Merrick Garland in 2016 and the rushed confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett a month ago, how the Republicans have used the Senate to pack the court to the right. If Reverend Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff both win, the Senate is tied. As of January, Vice President Kamala Harris would hold a tie-breaking vote as the president of the Senate. Sobering news. To backtrack, this cycle, there were 35 Democratic nominees for Senate. Only 12 of them were women. Only 8 of them were people of color. Only 4 of them were black. And there was only 1 black woman nominated, Marquita Bradshaw in Tennessee. In a political cycle where the presidential race was paramount, Democrats won only 13 of the 33 Senate seats which have been called so far, or fewer than 40%. So if that happened every cycle, Republicans would hold the Senate supermajority. Democrats raised $500 million in small dollar donations to win only 13 of 33 seats, with half of that $500 million going to just 5 races in Arizona, North Carolina, Maine, Kentucky, and South Carolina, where they won 1 of those 5 seats and lost by an average of over 7 points. So That's a longer term problem that I think we need to start thinking about how to fix and start looking across the board in 2022 for progressive Senate nominees that can push the progressive platform forward. On to January, we've got Republican super PACs currently putting $50 million into ads for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, which mix truth with fiction and run that socialist line. But I think there's a lot of hope. Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff are very engaging candidates who champion raising the minimum wage. Right now, Georgia's minimum wage clocks in at a disgraceful $5.15 an hour, which is less than the $7.25 minimum wage. So it's superseded by the federal minimum wage. The House passed a bill in July 2019 to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. That's a win that could help 40% of Georgians immediately. Ossoff and Warnock are also proponents of campaign finance reform and criminal justice reform, two Democratic agenda items that bolster the foundations of our democracy. I'm going to pass this mic on to Lauren Miller now to talk a little bit about some avenues we can take over the next 2 months to get out the vote and spread positive messages about both these candidates.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
I just decided to join this group because I wanted to say, for those of you who are like, I don't know if I want a phone bank, do I like talking on the phone? I did it for the first time, like in earnest in this past election cycle, and I can't wait to get back on the phones for the races in Georgia. I've been text banking for many years, thanks to the leadership and the example set by Oliver Butler. And those of you who have done text banking might know that it's like kind of exhausting. You're dealing with like these nasty replies, and it's a quick way to reach a lot of people all at once, but it's a pretty shallow way of reaching people. So I had been texting, and then the folks at the Working Families Party, who I had been volunteering on the text banking with, said, we need boots on the ground, and what we really need are voices on the phone. Can people sign up for these phone bank shifts? And I said, sure. And I just want to tell you the things that I learned. It was fun. So the Working Families Party does like Zoom parties where they'll play like bingo, and they have great music in the background, and there's like people in the room to help you figure out how to talk to folks if you have any questions. And you get to see people's cats like all across the country. It's so much fun. And it really felt like I was with other people, which is part of why I like being here with you two and with this audience tonight. So if you're looking for that kind of community, some of these groups are really doing a good job of fostering it. It was easy. They have a script that you follow, and whatever your caller responds, you just follow the script, and you click a button and you find the next response. It gave me a lot of faith, because as I was calling, I realized like most of the folks I was talking to wanted to participate. Like people want to have their voices heard. They're not apathetic on the whole. But the other thing I discovered was how needed this was, because a lot of us might already be politically engaged, we might think that the calls and texts are annoying. But, in the course of a few hours in Philadelphia, I probably talked to 20, 30 people who didn't know that their polling places had changed, didn't know that their polling places were closed by the time they were planning on getting there. People really needed this information and weren't getting it elsewhere. So the service that we were doing actually might have made a difference. And here's the biggest point I would make. Now I get to claim victory in the state of Pennsylvania because I was making calls in Philly. So when they called that state, I was like, that's my state. I did it. Obviously I didn't do it all, but if gloating privileges are like an incentive for you to participate, like how good would you feel if we can pull this off in Georgia? Like go get those gloating privileges and like get involved. And also one last thing I'd like to say, if you're interested in taking that goddamn gavel out of Mitch McConnell's hands, like I am, if you're into that, you might think, okay, it's Georgia. Like, what do I have to say about Georgia? And as Justin pointed out, this does have national, global implications, right? But beyond that, what the organizers on the ground have been telling us is that they need folks like us to get on the phones and do the texting so that the folks that are there can actually be in person to do the in-person events, which are the ways that you can only reach certain groups of people. So what we're doing is trying to take some of that labor off of our organizers in Georgia so that they can focus on the folks that they wouldn't ordinarily reach. So, with all of that said, you know, if you don't know where to go, maybe you have a local group here that you care about. For me, it was the Working Families Party. I know how important they are to my life and my community in New York. So I'm going to keep working with them. But if you don't have folks like that, Fair Fight is a great place to start. The New Georgia Project is a great place to start. Or think about who you are and what you have to offer. Like if you are a person who belongs to a certain identity or have a certain policy priority, there are groups organizing around those subgroups that could use your unique perspective when you get on the phone and talk to people. So you can talk in a way that's authentic to who you are and connect with people at where they're at. So that is all I have to say on that. Don't be afraid of the phones. It's really fun. You get to be like Chatty Cathy and you get to save democracy. That's my pitch. Ben, will you close us out for the night?
You've heard a lot of information. And Justin and Lauren, thank you so much for giving all this information. So, absentee ballots can come in starting November 18th. Registration deadline is December 7th. And you can do it online. December 14th is the first day of early voting. And of course, the elections are on January 5th. And if we succeed in these elections, we will have taken the gavel out of Mitch McConnell's hand and taken back the Senate.
Hell yeah.
So, if we want a bright future ahead of us, if we want to end this pandemic, if we want this bright future, we're going to take the gavel out of Mitch McConnell's hand and take back the Senate.
Hell yes. Awesome.
So this is really important that you all get involved with the Georgia Senate race because this is our chance to save democracy. And believe me, I want to see democracy live on like everyone else does because I really want the bright future for myself as well and for all of you. And I believe we can do it. We have to believe in ourselves. Thank you all. I really appreciate you tuning into this. So get out there and vote.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Justin.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you, the three of you, Justin, Lauren, and Ben. I mean, this program has it all, folks. We've got music, we've got political information that may change the course of our very lives. Okay? That's why you should be reaching deep down in those pockets and tipping our artists tonight. Our artists who are getting involved, as Justin said, has spent a good long while just trying to understand, this whole crazy puzzle of politics. And it's really important. It's really important. So I'm extremely glad to have you all on the show tonight. I did just want to point you all in the direction of someone else's art. Again, this is on someone else's fridge. That there is Whitney Houston. And to me, I was just kind of admiring and interpreting this piece of art here. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting my angle. But so this is Whitney Houston here. I believe she is singing down to the people of Georgia, giving them the information that we just got from our friends, Justin and Ben and Lauren. And then these are the people of Georgia around her voting Democrats into those Senate seats, and the beautiful rainbow sun rays here are that brand new day, are that hopeful day that Ben was talking about. So, other people's art, Okay. Now, not just one live music act tonight, but two. Yes, we do have Eric Holm on the mic tonight. So we're going from Georgia to South Dakota. When Eric Holm grew up in South Dakota, country music was too close for comfort. He wanted that city people stuff, like show tunes and punk rock. Now based in New Orleans, Holm makes radical queer country music and music videos with his brother Preston. He wants to shout out to Bread, Cloud City, and Barn Arts Collective in Maine. So now we're going to a video, one of those music videos that Eric makes with his brother, and then we're gonna shoot to Eric live in New Orleans for another song this evening. This is great. I'm so stoked for all this music.
Daddy's dad caught a ride on a magic carpet ship. Rode home in 1945 with a bullet in his hip. He would have followed Eisenhower to the belly of the sun. Fought a nasty conflict with the bottle. Another war he won. He never liked to talk a lot about the things he saw, but he hated Nazis even more than he loved Omaha. Sorta glad he's not around to see him rise from the underground. Good God, his anger would have been profound to see the soul of his party getting dead and drowned. Go from something good to something oh so bad. Grandpa would have been so mad. My mama's brother had a real long hair and he smoked that silly stuff. And even though he felt that it wasn't fair, well, his number wasn't high enough. His hair was short and his heart was scared when he landed in Saigon. And in the end he lost a leg, but he found his best friend John. They never liked to talk a lot about the things they saw. But John and Jacob, they loved to laugh about basic in Louisiana. John passed on by his own hand, and now Jacob has a hard time understanding. They said our dumb war was to take a stand, keep a Russian dictatorship from expanding. Now the new boss loves the new Russian lunatic. God, it would have made John sick. Well, good old Kate, she was my prom date, but she never wasn't more than a friend. She went for ROTC at State, I studied art at the U of M. Something changed in both of our brains on the day the towers fell. And war gave us different kinds of urgency, ringing out like a bell. She never liked to talk a lot about the things she saw. One drunk night, she opened up about the Battle of Buchheister. Whoa, it sure is hard to overstate how it broke my heart to hear how she hated the new people coming into our state and the border wall that she advocated. And it made me wonder what is happening to my friend. How is it gonna end? Well, one day if you say you gotta punch a Nazi, good God, I hope you do. But They say there's a beast in everyone. I hope you learn to soothe her too. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Hey everybody, I'm Eric, and I'm here in New Orleans, and this is a new song about how we must end the Electoral College. Here's my post-it. Kill the Electoral College. That's our job. Here's the song. I don't care where you're from. From where you live, where you go, and I don't think where you're from or live or go should ever shrink down your voice or change the weight of your democratic choice. Historically, you know, we move colonially. I mean, white people steal what we think we need. Trained for lumber and not for seed. We are social apes with hearts and brains for days, and we can change, I believe. And if you don't, then you're probably right. Generosity, it's like when you plant a tree, and by the time it's grown, you'll never see. You're making air for a baby's baby. So let me plant this tree and say that I can see a future land where we create an equal vote no matter what your state. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, Eric. Wow. Radical queer country music about things that really matter. This isn't country music like indicative of like talking about those very everyday nonsense things, which are also important, but such masterful songwriting by Eric Holm. Give it up. Yes. Thank you. Sometimes it helps me to hear messages, like political messages, when they're set to music. It's easier to digest for me. Well, I'm here again in someone else's bed this time. That's a weird thing when you do have to sleep in someone else's bed. And I'm looking out the window right now, and everybody else who's on Lenape land. This shit's cray. There's a hurricane out there. Anyway, I found this. I found a Pagan Cat Tarot deck, and I've already shuffled the deck. So if I could get somebody in the chat to choose either like top card, back card, or something in the middle, I'll wait. First one to chime in. Top card, back card, or something in the middle. Back. Kate McGee. Ms. Kate McGee in the house. Back it up. All right, what do we got here? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Here's the card. It's a cat on top of a goat. I'm going to look it up real quick. Okay. Pentacles. The Knight. Okay. Someone who acts carefully when dealing with physical world resources or finances. I don't know about y'all, but that kind of sounds like y'all should tip our artists tonight. Tip the artists. This cat on the back of a goat is telling you that is true. Thank you, Kate. What a generous pick for our artists tonight. Please tip everyone. Thank you, thank you. All right, next up, we have Mr. William Banks. Now, William Banks is a prophet who comes from Car World. And he's here to recruit and anoint 12 loyal apostles to join him on a return voyage to the bridge over to Car World in order to save Car World. Car World is in danger, and we need your help. William Banks.
I think William Banks is a great guy. He's an incredibly unique and inimitable performer. He's a great improviser, and I think he also has an incredibly generous, kind heart that comes out in every interaction you have with him.
William Banks is a beautiful human being and a creative genius, and he inspires me, and he's also hot.
he's really lovely and he's a sweet, sweet boy. And he came on my show and he like really freaked out my whole audience and I loved it. It was a pleasure to watch. He's cute. And also him and Caroline are so cute together and I can't get over it.
What do I think about William Banks? I think he's a visionary, a very talented performer, very a charming kind of person, kind of likable guy, very, a good creative mind, I would say.
He's a very creative guy and he's very fun and he's very genuinely nice and I like being around him. It's great.
Great at communicating, non-threatening, always offers a snack if you're hungry. Just like a really good guy. I'm happy to be his friend.
William is my queen, my son, my angel, my baby. I praise him highly. His mind is a big mind. We are the same in many ways, I feel.
I'm happy we met and went to Montauk. I wish him luck in his endeavors.
He treats everyone with respect and has a good heart.
I think he's a really sweet guy with interesting ideas.
Whatever's going on in his head, it's completely different from what's going on in everyone else's head. And is he a genius? Is he a madman? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
I think he's a very strange, surprisingly personable young man. Truly like no thing I've ever seen before in my life.
I will never understand what's going on inside his brain. But sometimes that bothers me about people that I know, but it doesn't bother me about Will because he's like nice.
I still haven't quite figured him out, but I think that what I have figured out is that at this point, like, that's kind of the thing, right?
I think I love William. I think William is one of my dear friends. He's very funny and he's a Jesus-like figure. And he's the perfect sexual being, not just in Car World, in our world. And I'll follow him to the day he is crucified.
I just hope his genitals are as handsome as his face is. I'd like to get a look.
William, wake up. Car World needs you.
Car World needs me. Car World!
William, Captain Car, William, Captain Car, William, Captain Car, Captain Car, Captain Car, Captain Car, Captain Car, Captain Car.
Walk the 1.3 miles from your house to the bridge to Car World with your 12 apostles.
Kiss me. Why won't you kiss me?
Join me, become an apostle, and go on a walk with me to the bridge to Car World so that I can save a civilization that I lived in for 10 years and had sex with almost everyone I could there.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. As you know, Earth World is going through a pandemic.
Well, COVID existed in Car World. It was dealt with swiftly.
They got a French press there or what? You guys are being watched. I got nothing to hide.
We do care for the advocacy of human lives.
Leave this failing Earth with us. Cross the bridge with us to Car World, and you will be okay.
The bridge to Car World is located in Brooklyn.
Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Thank you so much.
The IRS is not something that exists in Car World.
It's a beautiful day. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I want to marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go.
gathered you all here today to tell you about Car World. Is anybody here familiar with Car World?
No.
Well, it's really a misnomer. It's really Earth World in our universe. I spent the past 10 years there earlier this month. You see, I had sex with something about a year ago. I didn't know what it was. Follow me and know what it is. Please let me know to you about Car World. It's a real location. The whole society there is built on a desire to have sex with me, William Banks.
Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I want to marry you.
Hi, my name is Anna McCaslin. Thank you for having me on Car World. I want to be in Car World.
It's like the main goal in life is to find William Banks and have sex with him.
Okay. Just to reiterate, the norm of the society is that all of these cars want to fuck William Banks.
Well,
I don't care. Please, William. I crawl every day. Every day of my life is a crawl. Please, William, please. Oh, it's fresh. It's fresh. I'm desperate to. I gotta get there. I gotta get there. And every day I never can.
Keep it a secret until the world is ready for Car World.
Ready to be released.
Perfect. First of all, I just want to thank you two like so much. William Banks is something really special and different. Russell, I'm not sure actually how you're involved. I work at the Guardian. The Guardian is like a newspaper. Has Car World ever taken a human life?
Human life? No.
No. An animal life?
No matter what, a human being is not an animal.
I work for the Guardian, so if my family has a history of heart problems, what does that mean for me?
The tags will give you a power seat. Of course I'm kidding.
Natex wouldn't do that. That would give you eternal life.
See, I don't know Natex.
Natex planted a tree and gave all the other pilgrims power seeds. Currix, Terminus X, Willowoo.
Right. You're doing great.
I'm being seen more as a paramour now. People are wanting to go on dates with me. People are wanting to kiss me.
Well, what do you say to people who say, oh, William Banks wants to have sex with really smart girls?
For that, I'd like to show them this.
Shoot. Oh, man. Oh.
Hello, welcome to Car World.
Will, should we do that?
Oh wait, sorry. You guys can you come back down? We're not ready. Quite ready. We got a bouncer.
Can you look up, sir? You need to come to the side. I am protecting William Banks. I am serving William Banks. Believe in Car World.
Just bleached my hair when I was 21.
Because I don't want to be tricked is the thing.
I got you.
Are you a mechanic?
I am not a mechanic.
I'm not a mechanic.
I can only speak for myself, but
Are you sure?
I don't know shit about cars.
Yeah, you don't know shit about cars?
Not a mechanic.
Not a mechanic, okay. We have two non-mechanics.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And there's gas soup and everything.
There's gas soup. Good.
Upstairs.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me, SAG.
Car World, which is really a misnomer,
is the Earth World equivalent of our universe.
Yeah. Earth World in our universe. Thank you.
Let's do it one more time.
Earth World in our Pop quiz! Pop quiz, everybody. We're going to have a pop quiz.
In Car World, everybody wants to have sex with William Banks. Well, all the worms do. One day on Earth World is equivalent to 3,000 days in Car World.
Next slide.
Oh,
attendance. Anyone shocked by this image, or are we all like, this happens all the time, this Earth.
I'm embarrassed.
This part. This is the interesting part.
Somebody go fucking
Human care! Don't make that grow that.
Human care!
Shut up, human care!
Are attendants bipedal, or do they go on all fours, or do they just cartwheel around everywhere?
They are.
We're not gonna get into that right now.
They're good. Great.
How do the attendants reproduce?
If you have children in Car World and they're all attracted to you, that means your children are attracted to you? I was in the bathroom.
You need to pay attention.
This is class, not a fucking joke.
Yeah, that's right, Russell.
Thank you. Another species, the mechanics, with all the kids that William and Currix had together.
I've been branded. I need 12 people with a tap pass to help start the attendance revolution. I think we're gonna take a break for recess really fast. Master Tej has a recess stick.
And then once the recess stick is over,
recess
is over.
She's gonna die if she's peeing on her leg.
I'm sorry, recess is over. Last night, DRK and we made a card game. It's called Card World, the educational card world game. You all are attendants. One arm out, another arm out.
As soon as attendant has gas, anyone can take the gas.
Give me your gas.
I've got the William Banks card. Has good sex with Carux, and William returns it, the gas to the attendants. It's sort of a revolution.
Yes. This is Mechanic V hit Carmen. You copy. Mechanic. Over.
Or William, I think it's a mechanic. What did you do? I don't know.
What
did you do? Fucking game.
That's so funny. No. He is spreading lies to drivers here on Earthworld. I'm telling you the truth.
Hey, does anyone know the address here? I just ordered some pizza.
It's 47 Willoughby Avenue.
47?
487.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks.
Wait, he was
No!
487.
No! What? No! 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 No!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
If you need interactive shit,
Thank you all so much for coming to the Car World Masterclass Lesson 1, Intro to Car World. We hope that you come back next month to Car World Masterclass Lesson 2, Socio-Mathematics.
Thanks.
Would anybody like more gas too?
Thank you. This class is really good.
Well, I learned a lot about Car World, about the seduction of William Banks. I have a van. Do they accept vans in Car World? I also have someone else's weights, a home gym, perhaps? Excellent. Well, I do hope the best for the car population of Car World and its human apostles that I'm hoping will be there shortly to save it from some kind of turmoil. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, William Blake. Thanks. Sorry. Well, that was fun. Yes. Home gym. Home gym. We've got all of the amenities here at someone else's house. This is, I believe, this is a 5-pounder. There's 2.5 pounds of weight on it plus the bar. That's gym math, and I don't know really how to do that. All right. Well, let us move right along to our my good friends and a lot of other people's friends. I'm sure they have more friends than just me. But to our incredible artists at Target Margin Theater, who put on an incredible event called Electric Feeling Maybe. And they're here joining us to talk about what it is and what it was to make a live event for right now. And you can find out more about these individual artists at thebricktheater.com. But a little bit about Electric Feeling, maybe. The piece was inspired by the idea of touch, the desire, the impulse, the attempt to touch one another. It's not a play or a conventional production. It was about 30 minutes. It was a performance event that invited small groups to gather and share a distinctly Target Margin Theater artistic experience. It was created by Ali Andre Ali, Will Badgett, Purva Bedi, Leonie Bell, Ebony Burton, Raya El Chab, Jesse Friedman, David Herskovitz, Mary Neufeld, Grace Orr, and Stephanie Weeks. Let's go over to Jesse, Raya, Leonie, Grace, and Will to hear about that process.
Yeah. All right. One of us is going to have to start talking.
Well, it was a totally unique thing because, well, one thing, we were all in different places to start off, you know, and that's where we started, all on Zoom, throwing our ideas together.
Leo, you're muted.
Hear all those.
This is going so well.
I know a lot of them. I said that a lot of the things that we talked about in Zoom ended up in the piece from the like Zoom chat, and that was real cute, and I liked it a lot.
Because it was easier to record them on Zoom than, but then here we are again, separated, each in their own home, you know, through a virtual channel, meeting again. And Will is not even in New York anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Where are you, Will?
I'm outside of DC, in Oxon Hill, Maryland, keeping away from the crazies.
Yeah. And you came back to New York just to kind of do the show, right? You came back for a couple weeks for us.
Right. To work with Dave, because I've been with Target Margin for since the beginning, for one thing, and then all of you guys have been with David in some form or another, and that's the way Target Margin works. That it's a group of artists that have worked through New York City and pretty much many places throughout the country, throughout the world, and we come together using different styles and mashing those styles together, using like with the piece itself that we use like the things that were going on with ourselves while in the midst of this crazy pandemic thing, but also we used a lot of classical text and styles too, because that's one of the things of Target Margin Theater. It's a combination of styles and text, mashing it all together to create a piece that touches the spirit of what is happening today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question for people. In making, I know we talked about in rehearsals and it was addressed in the show. What was it like to make theater in a pandemic without, like, how did we address the pandemic and all the things that we were doing in the show, and how did we decide, like, we're not going to do, Leo, you had that great monologue about there's going to be all this coronavirus theater. Can someone talk about that?
Right.
I remember the first time I saw Grace. It was right after we had been meeting on Zoom, and we were meeting in the park, and she arrived, and I didn't know what to do, how to express myself. I ended up, making a tour around her and doing these weird, awkward movements. So that was the first important stage. I was like learning how to move and do a certain distance and knowing what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, being aware. What do you think, Grace? How was it for you?
I mean, I'm just thinking about that moment and how actually the last time I saw you, we were working on a show at Target Margin, and it was our last show, and the show was ending early because of the pandemic, and how we're both very big huggers, and how strange it is to see someone over Zoom and like be working and trying to create this show about this reality we're all in now. And then to actually see you in person again, it's so beautiful and so strange. And I think your response to that was so Target Margin. I don't know. It's yeah, it's really amazing to bring something from Zoom into a live space, but also I was one of the people that was like low-key paranoid, and I was like, I love you all, but like really we got to keep our mask on, and really I want to stay so far away from you when we were rehearsing. And then you know, like the longer we were meeting together, the more comfortable we became. And like yeah, does someone else want to talk about that, like how it started to change from day one meeting in person to, you know, the show happening? Jesse.
Yeah. Day one, or maybe even like day -2, when we were just getting ready to move from Zoom into like the Doxy, which is this big garage with a wide open roll gate and fans blaring, which maybe is like the ideal place to even step foot into a room together. But I don't know if I was totally sold. I was pretty convinced going into this process, like, if only for this group of people would I have maybe attempted it. And I was like pretty sure that, no, I'm pretty sure for the pandemic, like we all could just kind of wait it out and do our part and not try to push it. And it took me every day I became more and more comfortable with the idea. And at the end I was like totally bought in, and I had this magical like blossoming of hope that like, right, I had grown very cynical, and my cynicism went away. I don't know where it went. I don't really care either. I don't want it back.
It also makes me kind of think about how we kind of had to readjust our, like usually when you rehearse a show and then the actual audience is there, you're like, oh, like the energy kind of reshifts and you've kind of been waiting for that moment. And then in this case, we were doing the show basically like right inside of for those of you, I guess, who didn't see it or blah, 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 it was right inside of the roll gate on a platform where basically you could kind of pass each other. And it basically ran the length of the garage. And then the audience was sitting in socially distanced spots on the sidewalk. And then there was another group of audience members, depending on how many people came, who were basically on the other side of the street. And so we went from kind of rehearsing very comfortably where we could hear everything to really having to project in a way that was like street theater, like 101, like really go for it, because inside of the theater we could really hear ourselves, and we were like, wow, we sound amazing, it was so good. And then it was like, oh no, we can't hear anything like 3 meters out. So that was also really strange in terms of how to carry the kind of sensitivity that David, our director, hi David, I don't know if you're here, we love you, but basically there was this really specific kind of sensitivity to how we were delivering the text. Right. And like Will said, going in and out of different styles, and how to transfer that into, you know, projecting properly. That was a trip. I don't know if we fully managed, but it was definitely an interesting experiment.
Yeah, it's always a reach. That's the thing. That is the thing too about Target Margin and experimental theater in itself, that we're always reaching for something. And sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't, but it's the effort, and that's what art is. You know, I think I don't know what the fuck it is.
A weird thing about making theater in pandemic. After the show, everybody gets like hurried out of the lobby and like off of the block. So we were like, encouraged. Like people were encouraged, don't hang around after the show, and that's so much of what making theater is, and also what target margin is like the reason to do a show is to have drinks afterwards. But that was like not what this was about. Like, see you later. Catch up with you next week, my friends who came to see the show.
Yeah, but at least we got to be clapped, in person, and that was worth a lot. It was rare currency these times.
And it also makes me think of, as an audience member and as a performer, sometimes people have different anxiety levels of like the lobby hangout, or like, do I have to say hi to all these people I know from the theater community when I'm not feeling up to it today, or can I just run away after the show? And I feel like in this scenario, there wasn't really any of those anxieties to be possible, but it made me want to see people again. And now I'm like looking forward to the future of being like, hi, in the like pre-show lobby and like saying hi to the people, even your acquaintances and so on. And also if people in the chat have like, I guess, questions or other responses, we're there for it. Yeah, what Jess said, you said a car going by. There was a lot of buses and cars going by. And it was very funny, and it was part of the show for sure. And we also had a moment where the roll gate got stuck. And so the whole first part of the show, when it should have started, was the roll gate fixer people coming in and basically like banging on the roll gate and like fixing it. And the whole audience had already congregated, and it was really cold that night. And so that was the beginning of the show.
But then Will stopped and he started clapping. And then everybody started clapping for the guy. It was such a great moment of art meet everyday, work, somebody coming to fix something and making it. It was such a miracle at this point.
Yes, that was one of the comments that someone I think flashed up there. That at one point a car went by with its own soundtrack, and so that was a part of an essence that became a part of our show, of that the natural sounds and things that was happening became part of the show itself, and we had to take it in, let that noise happen, or use it in some kind of a way, and that was one of the magical things about this particular show. Maybe electric touch, maybe,
and all of the idiosyncrasies of live performance going haywire, like a car driving by, or the roll gate getting stuck. It felt different than when you're doing like a remote performance piece or a Zoom play, and there's some kind of technology that's going haywire, but you can't see the audience. Like the audience applauds when those, when the roll gate goes up, or there's an acknowledgement that, yeah, we all heard that car go by and we all experienced it in the same way. And that's very different than just like experiencing technical difficulties. And I have to say, after that like adrenaline scramble to get everything reset after the roll gate went up, that was like put me on the verge of tears. I was just so like, yes, that's the magic of live theater, and anything can happen and anything can go wrong. Oh yeah, you feel me, right?
Oh yeah, comunitas. That was it. Everybody was working together. It was like a magical moment that happened.
Well, in the future, we don't really know, right? Because it's going to be this thing of how will live performance go in the future? A theater with everybody wearing masks, or people standing 6 feet apart, or what? So so right now we kind of really don't know. You know, all that we know is that as theater artists, that we are going to continue trying to explore that and figure out what the future will bring, and our approach to creating art. It's expanding, it's changing, and we're learning as we go. Just as we learned while we were going along creating this piece. You know, it's a brand new world in a way now, and you know, and it's great that for Target Margin to have stepped in there to move forward. You know, when I was talking with David about
incredible poem,
incredible poem.
Well, I believe in the future, and it's going to happen again. And I think from what we've been seeing from everybody, it's going to keep going. And it was a successful experiment, I think.
Yeah, and as Will said, we're going to keep going. Yes, and we're going to keep trying to find solutions and ways to perform and to make more work and more pieces.
Thank you for watching us talk.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Onward and onward.
Thank you for having us. And thanks for the awesome art before this and the Georgia.
Someone else's scooter, someone else's shades. Thank you so much to all of my friends at TMT for letting us into your process. It was thrilling to hear about. This brings me back to our incredible team here. Process, right? So many times throughout the many weeks that we've been doing this. Thank you for the entrance. I'm here to please all of you is really my only existence. So over the many months and weeks that out of an abundance of caution has been going on, we've had multiple process talks with Jess Almasy, plenty of artists talking about how we're actually doing the thing right now, right? And this is the only way we're going to get to wherever we're going, is to be able to share that knowledge and share those licenses that we have to get, the PPE, how to really put this thing together and what we're doing it all for, right? As Raya said, communitas. Here, having this experience together, going through these like tiny traumas, right? That are insignificant, but like feel really important in the moment. That's what it's all about. So I just want to give a shout out to the incredible team at the Brick Theater who is producing Out of an Abundance of Caution, Theresa Buchheister, Lauren Miller, Jessica Almasy, Harriet Veltkamp. These incredible human beings are taking from every angle of our lives right now and pulling in incredible artists for us to laugh and cry and experience joy as we did, or as close to as what we did before this whole pandemic nonsense. And it's going to be an incredible time capsule to look back on. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here and being a place where we can discuss these things and move these discussions forward. And to that point, we are still accepting tips for all of our incredible artists tonight. You can go to the PayPal link and offer up some gratitude to Maya Sharpe, to Eric Holm and their incredible music, to Ben Dworkin, Justin Yorio, and our very own Lauren Miller, William Banks. We got to get to Car World. And I just wanted to kind of bring that energy in and remind you all of everything that goes into producing the show and how much, how important it is. Before we head into Garlan Jude with another reminder for us to breathe. Garlan Jude Brosnahan is a level 2 Reiki practitioner, as well as a 3rd-year teacher trainee at the Riverside Initiative for the Alexander Technique. And if you're not familiar with the Alexander Technique, it doesn't matter if you're a performer or not, it does wonders. They are also the studio manager there at the Riverside Initiative. As a performer, they are very interested in energy through the body and its relationship to movement and sound within and around the body. And I'm so grateful to have this moment to breathe with all of you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Garlan Jude, and here's a little video of me talking about breath cycles. Thank you for having me again. I'll repeat certain concepts from the first time I did this 2 weeks ago for folks who weren't there. And then we're just going to do a little breath exploration for like 10 minutes. So it's Sunday afternoon for me, but will be Sunday night for you all. I'm talking to you all in the future, and you're going to be witnessing me in the past. So start to think about your breath. First, with just what the idea of breathing brings up in you. Perhaps really nothing, perhaps indifference, or perhaps it's very charged. Maybe it makes you anxious or stressed. And really, when we are anxious and stressed, you might notice that you tend to breathe less. So we're just going to engage in uncontrolled breath with some intention, not to get in the way of our breathing. As living beings, we breathe. We don't need to do anything about that. We just need to get out of the way of it. And then once we plug into how we're breathing, we can perhaps then have some conscious choices or intentions about how we want to engage with our breath. So we breathe. You can sort of think of breath as a water wheel. It's cyclical, it's constant, it's never ending. It's something we do even when we're unconscious. When we're sleeping, we still breathe. It's really cool. So start to notice how you're breathing or not breathing. I'm just gonna put that out there for the moment. And I originally thought I was doing a audio recording, and I thought, oh, I'll probably just walk around my apartment and talk about breath. And the idea of being on video, the stimulus of that, I thought, perhaps that makes me want to hold my breath. So I am taking this time to connect to my breath by not walking around, by actually coming to stillness and checking in with my breathing. And you can start doing this too. So I'm sitting in a chair. You might also be, or you might be standing or laying down. So what I'm noticing and what you can start to notice is my contact points. Because if I have contact, there's surface supporting me. I'm meeting a surface is meeting me. I can then build myself up from there. I can then have space and expansion for breath. because breath does instill expansion. So how can I further engage that expansion? So I'm sitting, my feet are on the ground, my butt's on the chair. There are two bony structures in the base of our pelvis called sits bones. So I think of them as my butt feet. So from my sits bones, I'm sitting and my torso is moving up from there. My head is moving up from there. And I also have my feet on the ground. And I'm breathing. And start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. The nose is built to take the in-breath. All those, we have nose hairs and such, that really cleanse the air as our body turns it into oxygen. It comes into our nasal cavity, which can really give space. So think of breathing in through your nose as you have contact points. Could that enliven your eyes a bit? Where your eyes rest in the sockets and out through the mouth. In through the nose, could my cheekbones soften? And out through the mouth. In through the nose, could my eyebrows soften? Could my temples soften? Out through the mouth. You can play with that in any way. You could play, could your forehead soften? Could the crown of your head soften? As you breathe in, can you notice if there's any tension around your jaw? You know, we're wearing masks a lot these days. I personally, when I'm wearing a mask and trying to focus on breathing or notice what I'm doing, I feel pretty tight in my jaw, like pulled in. My tongue feels like it's sort of pulled back. Or in general, might you notice any stiffening around your neck? And noticing your contact points. Maybe you want to move during this. Maybe if you're sitting, you want to stand, or vice versa. Lie down, walk around. So we're breathing in through the nose, maybe giving more space in our nasal cavity. And as you breathe in through the nose, you could think of your soft palate lifting. If you're not sure what that is, you can trace this with your tongue behind your top row of teeth. That ridgy area is your hard palate, and then it smooths out into your soft palate. So I'm slowly building us into this controlled exhalation, what we call in the Alexander technique, the whispered ah, A-H, ah. I'm from Rhode Island, where we often don't pronounce R's, so ka, A-H. So, knowing that we have a breath cycle, water wheel, we're always breathing. When you start to think about a controlled exhalation, you're simply gonna empty out. So, wherever I am, I'm exhaling. And so as I breathe in and think of this space in my sinus cavity, nasal cavity as well, I'm gonna think of an enlivening thought behind my eyes. That can mean whatever. It could be someone you love, something you love, an activity you love, smell, taste, memory, something that sort of makes you wanna almost lift into a smile. And as you do that, your soft palate lifts. And as you exhale out through the mouth, your jaw can ease away. Your chin can ease away. You know, your jaw is connected to your skull, but it's not a part of your skull. So with an inhalation, exhalation, your jaw can move away. Chin moving away. thinking of my chin sort of on a diagonal where the floor meets the wall in front of me. And so one other component of this whispered ah, I talked about how I sort of pull my tongue in when I'm wearing a mask, or I feel like I am. The tongue's a very big muscle. We do a lot with it. So you want to allow your tongue to rest behind your bottom row of teeth. Think of it really taking up space in your mouth. And maybe breathing, you can feel ease around your larynx and esophagus, the front of your throat, perhaps your tongue as a thought. We do lots of thinking in the Alexander technique, thinking to imbue potential physical reaction. We think of ourselves as psychophysical beings, mind and body connected, so thoughts can actually lead to physical action, physical change. So who knows what could happen if I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and I'm thinking of my tongue unwinding from my throat. Perhaps it can lead to my jaw actually having more space, having more ease. Perhaps I can think of, because, you know, throat is front body, neck, your cervical spine is back body. The top vertebra of your spine is roughly behind your eyes and in between your ears. You can think of that as the top of your neck. Anywho, so I could think of my neck freeing. Plenty of things could happen. And I want to take a moment to pause and to think, are you breathing? Is anything I'm saying making you hold your breath? Or are you in this wonderful flow with yourself of in through the nose, out through the mouth? Where are your contact points? Is breathing helping you release through these contact points? So I'm going to do a whispered ah, and you can do them with me or not. And then we're going to do one simple but physical action, and then we'll be done. But for now, we're meeting ourselves where we are, with our contact points, with our breath, with what we're seeing in the room around us. Can we see and still breathe and notice how we are physically oriented in our space, and allow what's in our space to come into our thinking? So a whispered ah, emptying out, in through the nose, enlivening thought, lift of the soft palate as the tongue is heavily weighted, has its weight in our mouth. Opposition of up and down, soft palate up, tongue giving us ground down. You simply close your lips. Breathe back in, enlivening thought, lift of the soft palate, tongue nice and heavy, and in the Alexander technique, we talk about always arriving, never arrived. So we continue to arrive. I'm arriving at 11:30 a.m. on a Sunday afternoon. You're arriving at 8:30 or 9 p.m. on Sunday night. We're always arriving, so now I'm standing. My feet are still in contact with the ground. My sits bones, my butt isn't on the chair, but how can I still sense my sits bones? And I'm just gonna do another whispered ah, and I'm gonna just play around with moving my arms that connect into my breathing torso, my breathing pelvis, but also can move away from it. And one more thing I'm gonna bring in, as you breathe in through the nose, your rib cage expands. Your diaphragm, which is involved in breathing, moves down. So there's space for all your organs to do their functioning more freely. Your heart to beat more freely as oxygen pours in and out of it through your veins along with your bloodstream, enlivening your energetic force. So as you breathe in, ribcage expands. As you breathe out, your ribcage drapes long and your diaphragm moves up in space. So there's this inhale, exhale. So I'm leaving you with something that you can play around with now and also later and anytime. So my arms connected into my breathing mechanism, torso and pelvis, but moving away from it as I do 2 whispered ahs. One more for good luck. So as I breathe in and out, my chest can open, my heart can soften, my shoulders, the physical widest point of me, can ease away and be wide. My abdomen can soften, I can find more space in my pelvis, can let my glutes go as I have my feet on the ground. As I'm expanding, finding more width and space and length. As I breathe in and out, this unsteady activity we do every day, that when we tap into it can really give us lots of options for how we want to orient ourselves in space. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I bid you good day. Thank you.
No. Thank you, Garland. Wow. That was very good things for me. I don't know about all of you. I'm guessing because the chat was completely silent. Everyone was very much tapped into their breath. Whew. I don't know about y'all, but like my breath has been very short and shallow recently, and I just get into this cycle and it's not fun. I don't feel my full self, you know? Oh my God! What an incredible show we've had tonight. And we're ending this incredible night with collective breathing, you know, as we're all in our own places or someone else's, breathing together via the intranet. That's something special, right? Just knowing that everybody's sitting there breathing. That's a warm thought. Well, thank you again to all of the incredible artists we've had and our incredible chat population. It was really booming tonight. I love to see that interaction. Thank you to Maya Sharpe. Thank you to Ben Dworkin, Justin Yorio, and our very own Lauren Miller. Thank you, Eric Holm. Thank you, William Banks, and introducing us to Car World. Thank you, Target Margin artists, talking about their incredible foray into live theater in this very moment. And of course, thank you to Garlan Jude. It's been an incredible honor to host all of these amazing people and be your guide through my new space and from all of yours. So thank you all. Take this breathing, take this expansion into the next week and forever onward. And don't forget to tip your artists if you haven't already. Good night, everybody.